Hi guys, and welcome back to Waxing On. Today's episode 48. We're crowding in on episode 50, and when we hit episode 50, we're going to have a couple of special episodes coming up, so I'll talk about those a little later. Today, Monday being Jazz Day, we're going to kind of continue on a little bit from where I left off on Friday, where we talked about Hirt. Today we're going to look at another trumpet player that in the 60s was very influential on young trumpet players coming up. He had a lot of airplay. He got a lot of appearances on television, Tonight Show, guest appearances on other variety shows. Of course, I'm talking about Al Hirt. Now, we got a number of albums I'm going to show you from Al Hirt and a lot of varying kinds of music. Al Hirt was similar to Hirt in the fact that some of his popular tunes were little short, very commercial songs, things like Cotton Candy, Sugar Lips, Java. Ones that would certainly pass the old gray whistle test, and people caught on very quickly to them. He was getting a lot of AM radio play with them. But he also had a lot of albums that covered different material, from popular songs, from show tunes, and of course, a lot of New Orleans music. So we're going to look at a few albums to kind of highlight what he did and ones that were my favorites. Now, I have one here, and it's a really old one. It's on Metro Records. Basically, there's not a lot of information on it, really no liner notes to speak of. And this was basically New Orleans style music. We're looking at South Rampart Street Parade, Jazz Me Blues, the original Dixieland One Step, Tin Roof Blues, Washington Lee Swing, Wolverine Blues, Blue and Broken Hearted, showing what Al Hirt did in that Dixieland style. Now, nothing on here telling me who's playing with him, when it was recorded. It's again, not on a record label I recognize as Metro, but I'm going to say this is probably back in the mid-early 60s, maybe a little later. But again, no information to help us out. Good album, just not much information I can share with you on it. But one that I got, and this was my first one, and this is kind of where everybody starts out. Nothing better than a greatest hits album to give you a good idea what the player's all about. And this one had Al Hirt's hits, as well as a few other tunes here. Let's just go over what he had today. Java, which we mentioned, was one of his hits. Stranger in Paradise, Best Man, a vocal with him and Anne Margaret. Stella by Starlight, Holiday for Trumpet. We have Bourbon Street Parade, so there's the Dixieland coming back in. I Love Paris, Sugar Lips, another one of his AM radio hits. Cotton Candy, AM radio hit. Love Makes the World Go Round, the theme from Carnival. And When the Saints Go Marching In. Now, at this point, I'm looking on the back here, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 6, about 11 albums Al Hirt had out at this time. You can see a variety of them on here. He was a very prolific recording artist. A lot of albums, and again, he was one of the premier trumpet players during this era. And this was in the early 60s when I first became aware of him. But certainly the Al Hirt greatest hits, good place to start. Give you a good idea of the range that Al Hirt had and the kind of music he was playing. Now, the one that really stands out is this one, Al Hirt at Carnegie Hall. And I've seen it on the internet a few times. People have referenced it. And this one is really an amazing album because it shows what Al Hirt can really do. It wasn't just Dixieland. It wasn't just popular songs. This guy had some real chops. Also, the backup band, arranged and conducted by Gerald Wilson. So that was interesting. This one had a lot of swing and popular tunes. We got Bye Bye Blues, Gypsy in My Soul, Walk Right In, Down by the Riverside, Love for Sale. We've got Al Hirt singing on Up Above My Head. So another chance to hear Al Hirt vocalizing. When I'm Feeling Kind of Blue, Going to Chicago Blues, the Tennessee Waltz, Kansas City. Again, a couple of popular tunes that he's performing here that really capture the essence of the song, but in that special Al Hirt style. And Java, his hit. But the one song that stands out on this album, and all the trumpet players will know it, Al Hirt does Carnival of Venice. Now, any of the trumpet players that studied the Arbin book, we're all familiar with that Carnival of Venice and all the variations. And like I say, you've heard Al Hirt. I'm talking Herb Alpert again there. Al Hirt play all the popular tunes, but when you hear him play this, and he can do it with all the finesse and all the tongue and articulations, This guy had amazing trumpet chops and an amazing ability to play that a lot of times we didn't see because it was hidden behind the popular songs. So again, probably the standout song on this album for me was Carnival of Venice, just because it showed the wide range of what Al Hirt was able to do. As for my most favorite album from the time period, it's another one that Camden Records, RCA, distributed, one called Strutting Down Royal Street. And basically what it is an album of New Orleans funeral marches, with the usual dirge on the way to the graveyard and the Dixieland on the way home. And we've got Keep on the Firing Line, Great Day Coming, This World Is Not My Home, I Shall Not Be Moved, Just a Closer Walk with Thee, Do Lord, Lily of the Valley, Oh, Didn't He Ramble, and Just a Little While. And again, it's really an interesting album. I don't see it out often. Once in a while I come across it. I think I found this in a discount bin one time. It really wasn't one of the commercial ones like the other albums we had seen where he was doing the commercial songs like Cotton Candy and Java. This one was a New Orleans one, but with a different twist. It was all the New Orleans funeral music, which is really an interesting one. Okay, so for Al Hirt, if you're a first-time listener, might be worth checking out Greatest Hits. If you're a trumpet player, whoa, grab a hold of Carnegie Hall. Give a listen to that Carnival of Venice. You'll be amazed. And, I mean, it's not like there's any bad songs on this album. It's a great album. Great support by Gerald Wilson and the band. Excellent one to have. And, again, my favorite, Strutting Down Royal Street. Okay, that's it for today. We'll see you again Wednesday when we'll be looking at classic rock. And Friday is episode 50, which we're going to kick off with something a little different. And as we get into next week, episodes 51, 2, and 3, well, they're going to be something very different. They're going to be unlike anything you've heard before, nothing you've seen on here. Even though I do a lot of obscure things, that can't compare to what's coming up next week. We've got some very familiar names doing some very unusual things. So check back in next Monday for the 50th anniversary week, and we'll see you on Wednesday for Classic Rock. Stay home, stay safe. We'll see you Wednesday.